Hey guys, Shane with Empire K-9 Services. I'm doing a video today to answer some questions that I've had from my clients as well, some of the postings that I've seen online. And the question is what is the difference between search and rescue and tracking? And I'm going to tell you that right now. I got the answer for you. Nothing. There is nothing different between search and rescue and tracking. It is just called something different depending on the classification you are using that dog for. And I'll go over those right now with you. So, for an example, if you are working, say, with a fire department or a privately owned organization, whatever you're doing, if you are searching for a person using your dog that is missing, that has a medical condition, that has wandered off, whether a person went hunting in the woods and they don't know where they're at, they're lost, you are using a dog to search for a person to rescue them from where they're at and get them back to where they know where they're at. That is search and rescue because you're searching for a person to rescue them. If you are using a dog to search for a person that if you are able to find them, a law enforcement agency can take them into custody for a criminal offense, whatever it may be, then it is called tracking. So again, if you're searching for a person to rescue them from lost or whatever, you're search and rescue. If you are tracking for a person or searching for a person so that a law enforcement agency can take them into custody, it is now tracking. And I'm going to, now the training wise, the training is or should be the same on all areas of these dogs. It should all be the same, okay? But I'm going to touch base on one other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this isn't directed towards anyone or any type of training facility or any dogs, okay? It was just brought to my attention that I saw online a few times, and a couple things that's been brought up to me by some people that I won't mention any names about. And it is whether a dog will, only search if they have an article or only search if they don't have an article. And sometimes there are people out there that will bring their canines to a search and rescue place and they will ask, okay, do you have an article for this person? And if they tell them, no, we don't have an article, they'll put their dog up. In my opinion, if your dog is trained in search and rescue, but your dog can only perform that search and rescue duty if they have an article, your dog was not trained in all areas of search and rescue. I'm not saying your dog doesn't work. There are dogs out there who only search if they have an article and they do a great, great job. But they limit themselves to only being able to do that job if they have an article. All right? Now, if you go out to a scene to try and help somebody, be rescued, and you're using your dog, and you say, do you have an article? And they tell you no, and you have to put your dog up. Well, now they've waited for you to get there, but now since you can't do the job, they now have to wait for another dog to get there that can search for a person that does not require an article. Yes, you can search using your dog for a person without an article. You have article scent search, and you have non-article scent search. And I will go over both of those right now to explain them to you, okay? Article scent search is when a person has an article, your dog smells that article, gets that smell familiarized with itself, and then tracks for that specific smell and deviates and pushes out every other smell in the world looking for this smell only. All right? Non-article needed searching wise is your dog is ground scenting for something that does not belong. All right? Now, is it great to always have an article? I will prefer to have an article every single day over not having an article. I would love to have an article, but sometimes you don't have one. But I'm not going to let that limit myself from not being able to do the job that I need to do. All right, so back to explaining this is for non-article is if you was to go to a scene and they say, look, we don't have an article, but the person that we're looking for always takes this path right here to go hunting. And they haven't been hunting for a few days, but they just went this morning or last night, whenever, and they never came back. Or the person I last saw him yesterday over here by this post or walking over here, whatever it is. If you have a direction to travel or a point of place where this person may have been at, all right, then all you need is to take your dog to that area. And your dog is going to look for something that does not belong. And I'll explain that to you now. Is the scent. Okay? The dog will smell the ground when put on a track. And the dog will smell the grass. Now, how does it determine different? Okay, well, if you grab grass and you hold it in your hand and you smell it, it has a certain smell. But if you crush that vegetation in your hand, it now has a chemical reaction to where it changes the smell of this grass to where it smells differently. Maybe not to you, but to a K-9 because their senses are higher than humans are. All right? So the dog is tracking for something that does not belong. And as soon as it picks up an area that does not belong, say a footprint. Now, a dog's not going to notice the footprint or see the footprint. It's going to smell that area, and it smells differently than the rest of the grass around. So if that is where the person stepped at, what the dog ultimately just done is it's got the change of grass, the smell. It's got maybe a shoe, the smell off the bottom of the shoe, maybe a bare footprint, maybe clothing in the area, skin particles, whatever it may be that's on the grass now from this person, because we shed skin particles every day and all day, nonstop. It always happens. Thousands of them come off our skin a day. So what that dog just done was it just found its own article. It's now picking up this scent. So how do you tell that? Well, when a dog is, for an example, if a person was last seen over here, you want to start your dog offset over here. And then when the dog is tracking, when it comes to this area, it should have a sudden change in body posture and pick up on this part and now follow this smell because it is different and it doesn't belong. Okay? So that is the difference between the two. Tracking and search and rescue are the same thing, but don't limit yourself. Make sure that you can cover the whole area of search and rescue with an article and without. Having an article is always the better option, and it's great to have it. Not having an article, you could still do the job, but make sure you have that option in your pocket. Make sure that tool is there. And if you have to search without an article, make sure you tell everyone, stay out of the immediate area. Do not go anywhere around it because I don't want my dog picking up your scent. I want them picking up the other scent. I want them picking up the other trail. Okay, so that's your differences. And if you don't know how to train the dog in your search and rescue or tracking without an article, meet up with the trainer, hire a trainer that knows how to do this. Let them properly teach you the right way to train that dog to cover all areas of your search and rescue. All right? Because if you have all of that, you're going to have a better, well-rounded dog that's going to be able to cover a lot more bases that you need. And you're going to be able to have a lot more trust in your dog. So if you know how to do it, make sure you cover all those bases. If you don't, hire somebody to train you the proper way so you can have a better dog that does the job better. And you have a lot more tools in your backpack to use. Again, guys, this is Shane with Empire K-9 Services. I hope I answered a lot of the questions that I've been asked. If not, leave your comments in the section below, and I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. Again, thanks, and have a good day.